Now we're going to learn housekeeping. Basic housekeeping. On your journey, if you learn this here, it'll make your life a lot easier. I learned it up here. I wish I learnt it back here. And it's as simple as this. When you go out and take photos, delete as you go if you possibly can. So delete your bad images. Don't save them. Don't hang on to them for a later date's review unless it's a preliminary shoot. So delete, delete, delete. A tip in life is to only show the good images. Only show people the best of the best images. It's just like if you had a website, would you put bad images up there? No, you wouldn't. You only want people to see some of your good work, right? Some of the best work that you've done. So only put that up there. Even if it's a bit iffy, don't put it up there. Don't show people. The difference is this. You can have two photographers and they're both equally as good as each other artistically, and they've both got exactly the same equipment. They both go to the same shoot. They both take wonderful images. This photographer shows all the images to their family and friends. This one only shows them a couple of images, which is the cleaned up version of the best of the best. As the years go by, their family and friends will think that this person is a fantastic photographer. They only show fantastic images. There's only a few to look at, but wow, they're really good. This photographer bores the pants of family and friends, and they find excuses not to look at them. Even though there's some fantastic work in amongst it, the trouble and effort to get to that fantastic work isn't worth the effort. And they'll find excuses and they'll bail each other out so they don't have to look at your work. So be this person and only show the best of the best. You can delete them as you go or delete them in-house. It's up to you, but delete them. So when you save, save the best. Now how do you save? So now have two external hard drives, or you can save in the cloud, or you can save on the computer and an external hard drive. It's up to you on how you want this to roll. This is how I do it. You can make up your own system, but this is a guide, a rough guide. You make up your own mind. When I take a shoot, I come back to the office and I make a folder every year, and it's the year, and that's what I start with, the year. And then when I click on the folder that is of that year, subcategory folders open up, and it depends on what I take for a majority of the time. There can be my family and friends, and then I have it in my work, right? So I shoot a lot of events, so I have an events folder. I have portraits, because I do a lot of headshots and portraits. I do product photography, so I have one there. I do architectural photography, so I have one there. And I do website photography, so I have one there. So I don't have many folders. So when I look at that year and I open up that folder, I've got my subcategories. So let's say headshots. I then click on headshots, and then all the subfolders open up from there. I name it by the name of the person and then the date of when it was done. So let's say Mr. X, so I look at Mr. X and it'll have the date of when he was done. Then I open that folder and there's my raw images, and then under that I make another folder which is the best images, and then I have another folder under that which are the final images. So in years to come I could get a phone call from Mr. X. Anthony, I need those photos. I can't find them anywhere. Can you send them to me? Okay, what year was it done? It was done in X year. So I go to X year, I go to headshots, and there's Mr. X. I open Mr. X folder, and there's all of his images, then the best images, and then the final cleaned images. He only wants the final cleaned images. So I open that and then send it to him. And I can find those easily anytime that I need to. And I've duplicated them. So even though you may only clean off one, every year I swap the clean or as you go I swap the clean ones periodically when you think it's necessary. I swap the clean ones over as well. So both copies are the same. And now I've got two external hard drives going through the years, and they're both basically mirrored. You can get an external device, and there are some external devices that have 16 terabytes, etc., that does proper mirroring inside, and they have a number of hard drives put into the machine, and you can save them that way. I've done that as well for a number of years, but I've just found it easier just to get two external hard drives. Another option to that is that you can put it up into the cloud and have it on your desktop. You can do that if you are prepared to pay constantly forever for the cloud service that you're about to use, because as a photographer you'll quickly fill it up and then they'll ask for money, and so then you're going to pay to have them up in the cloud. That's up to you. If you really want to do that, go for it. I actually do use a cloud service because I do this professionally, but do I save everything up in there? No, I don't need to. I don't want to. I rather control it from down here. And as a professional, you can have the extra backup of then storing it into a third one periodically, which then lives off-site in case of fire, etc. So if anything happened in my office, if you've got external, and this is the beauty of the cloud, if not, you've got to do this physically, where you get an external hard drive with all of your images on there and you put it somewhere else safe that's not on your property, or it's outside in a safe place. Housekeeping, you've got to get this right. If not, it can be a world of disaster as you're trying to find images. Here's another tip, just a final quick tip. Besides those categories and all the years, have another folder in there, and it's called Best of the Best, and it's your best of the best. And if you're looking at an image and you think, that's a mighty fine image, get that image and copy it into Best of the Best. And so then, if you need to show anyone your portfolio of work, it's already there. It's in the Best of the Best folder. And over the years, that will accumulate. And you'll even think, I thought that was the best of the best, but it actually isn't, because now my work is so much better. I'm going to take that one out. But at the end of the day, it'll be your pride and joy out of everything that you do. So only show the good ones. File them, delete them, all the bad ones. Get rid of the baddies. You don't need to see them. Even though I keep my raws here and then I've got my best of the best, I'm quite happy to delete my raws after a while. I don't need to save them. I don't need them. I've already got them as my best images, and they're the best raw images already. So I've got my best. The rest of them, they don't count. I can delete those. And once a year I actually do go and do a cull and delete them. Housekeeping, get into it.